Shortcuts are a great way to get things done, but to get that benefit, you have to know what the shortcuts are. And let's face it, we all can memorize a few, but we can't remember all of the ones on all the different websites. I have got a trick to show you that we're going to show it on YouTube, but it works on a lot of different sites, and it's certainly worth a try using wherever you are going to be hanging out. So let's talk tech about shortcuts and how you can access them without leaving your tool or site. Hello and welcome. So shortcuts, why do we care? So shortcuts are a great way to be more efficient, to get things done. They're something that just are there on a lot of different tools and websites. But if you're like me, there's certain ones that you use all the time and like they're in your brain, and actually your hands probably know how to do them, like Control C, Control V, like, all these kinds of things that you're using on a regular basis. But there are times where you need or wish you could have a little bit more control. Maybe you're doing something on the keyboard while you're on this site or whatever, and it's a pain in the neck to switch back and forth between the keyboard and your mouse or your stylus if you're like me. And so a keyboard shortcut would definitely make you more efficient. They also, on some sites, offer you a way to do things in a much easier way than if you were trying to interact with the site or the tool using a mouse or your stylus or that type of thing. So efficiency is definitely a big part of it. It's also a way, like I said, to have more control, which, in some situations is just not only a time saver, but a lifesaver. Definitely reduces frustration. It's also healthier. Like, there are times, and sooner or if it hasn't happened to you, it will someday. I'm not wishing it on you. It's just the way life goes, right? Either, so I fight with carpal tunnel on a regular basis. That's why I am such a advocate for, people to try this type of thing. If it wasn't for that, I don't think I'd be able to feel my hands at all anymore. Should not have moved the keyboard because I'm actually going to use that in a minute, but oh well, we'll readjust. But you being able to do things from the keyboard can help reduce some of that repetitive stress issue. Or maybe you fell and you only have use of one hand, and so it's just easier to just do things that way. So there's a lot of different possibilities for why and where you would want to use it. So we're going to just kind of walk through this really quick. It's going to be, I assume, a short one unless you guys want to really talk about this, because once I show it to you, then it's really just a matter of you going and trying it in all the different places. For those of you who are new here, have never run across my stuff before, welcome. My name is Kathleen. I'm here as your tech coach. The short version of this is technology is my day gig. It's also my hobby, so I live in this world 24/7. Because of that, my friends, family, coworkers, neighbors have started, over the years, I'm sort of the go-to resource when they have a question, when they want advice, when they want, a better explanation of things in the world of tech, which I'm more than happy to do. But over time, that's now spread to their friends, family, neighbors, and coworkers, which made me realize that not everybody has somebody to talk to about this stuff. So hello, that's why we're here every Thursday. And you can also reach out to me at yourtechcoach.net or .com. I have both now. All right, so let us get into this. Like I said, there are shortcuts that I use on a regular basis, right? And they're burned into my brain. I don't even really have to think about them. It's sort of like my fingers know what to do without me telling. But there's no way I can possibly learn all or remember all the shortcuts on every single tool and app I visit. It's just not possible. Because there are things that I'm not going to use on a regular basis. So for those situations, there is a great little hack that I'm going to show you. And I hope that you will come back and let me know if you've used it, where you found that it's been useful for you, because it has been a real game changer for me the past few weeks, particularly because of a project I've been working on. All right, so let me bring up my overhead shot, which I've just messed up because that's what I do when I'm doing this stuff. Okay. Let me bring this over. So, my lovely keyboard. I like a clicky keyboard, and I like the pretty lights. So, judge me if you will. So the idea of this is that, you're doing something on your website, or on a tool that you're working on and everything, and you need to do something and you're like, I gotta go grab the mouse, or I gotta get my stylus, where did I put it? When it would just be more efficient to be able to do something and be able to keep going and keep your flow going. The strokes for this are Shift, plus, and the slash. And when you do that, and I'm going to show you an example, that will bring up in a lot of places a quick view of the different shortcuts available for that site. Now, the reason I wanted, so this is the combination that works. When I first heard about this, I kept trying to do it over here. So I was doing, here, I'll focus on this one, right? So I had the shift, and I was doing the plus, and I was doing this slash. Well, that doesn't work. So this is not what you want to focus on. You want to focus on the stuff on your regular keyboard here. So nothing up here, nothing over here is going to work. It's only this one here. Let me bring this up here because there's actually a couple others that I found out about. One sec, I dropped my stylus, and this is what I'm talking about, right? Supposing I couldn't get to that stylus quickly, I could still use my keyboard shortcuts. In some situations, you can also try to do shift and question mark. That could work. So if one doesn't work, the other probably will. So let's go ahead. I'm going to bring up another view, and we'll just kind of walk through some examples so you can see what I'm talking about. Now, in order for you to see this side by side, we're going to start with this view. I won't stick with this because I think it's probably not going to show all of them for you. But just as an example, let me lose that. Okay, and that's time to come up. So right now I am on YouTube, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So let me make sure I've got myself in the right place. So many windows. All right, so if I do shift plus and the slash sign, I get the shortcuts for YouTube. Now, this is the reason I'm starting with this, the reason I'm focusing on this is because this is where I have found it is unbelievably helpful because of things like this, right? So the toggle play pause with the K, being able to rewind using just a letter. But this is the other thing, right? So you can go frame by frame using the comma and the period on your keyboard. I did not know that. That is such a lifesaver when you're trying to really look at something like, say somebody's gotten, an example up and you want to get a closer look at it. Or like I'm always looking at different things about, setting up new computers and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes I really need to get in and see exactly where they're connecting something. And sometimes they do it too fast. So this is awesome because I can go through that, have that granular control to get exactly to the frame that gives me the clearest picture of what I'm looking at. Beforehand, I was struggling with trying to do it this way, right? So trying to drag, you won't be able to see that there. Hang on 1 second. Let me switch to this. So before I was stuck trying to narrow in, and dial in by, now this, I know this is a really bad picture. This is the Star Wars holiday special done by Riff Tracks. I just wanted something that I wasn't, I was trying to avoid getting a copyright problem. So beforehand, this is what I would have to use. But now, thanks to this little trick, I found out that I can go in and I can do this frame by frame by doing the comma or the period. I can also increase or decrease the playback rate. So the speed at which something is playing on YouTube. I actually went and got a plugin for that. So now I don't even need that plugin anymore because guess what? It's actually there. I just never realized it was there. Because of the chapter things, you can jump around chapters. So this is something to spend some time looking at. If you spend any time doing research on YouTube, this is huge. And what I really love, I'm dying to go try this. So the people who post the 360 videos, you can pan up, pan down, all that kind of stuff, again, using your keyboard. So that's why I decided I had to do this show because I'm like, this has saved me so much aggravation on trying to really get the content that I need out of YouTube. So much easier. Saved so much time. So much less frustration. This is my new favorite thing. And then, of course, once you find something like this, you're like, well, does this work anywhere else? And of course it does. Now, I have not obviously tested it everywhere, and I can't possibly test it everywhere. That's why I'm asking if you feel, if you find some place, I hope that you'll come back and post it in the comments so everybody will know. But just some places I did try. So Reddit, Spotify, Twitch, Facebook, Google Photos, Gmail, Google Drive. I verified it works on all those. So basically the rule of thumb seems to be if you're someplace and you wish you had a way to control something, or you're just curious, give this a try. So again, it's just the shift, the plus sign, and the /. Or if that doesn't work, try the shift and the question mark. One or the other of those will probably work. In some cases, both will work. So we'll go and take a look at another one, just so you know. I ain't fibbing. So I'm not going to bring up, unless you want me to, I won't bring the keyboard up just so you can see the whole thing that comes up. So I'm doing Shift plus and slash. Whoops, I'm not actually in the thing here. Shift plus slash. So here we go. We have got a whole ton of things that you can do in Gmail. And in this situation, there's actually this little option here to open it in a new window, which is nice. But for me, the whole point of this is like, I don't have to leave where I'm at in order to go and check and see, oh, what's the keyboard shortcut for this? What I love about this is it doesn't take me out of my flow. It doesn't take my attention away from where I am at. And that way I'm able to just keep focused and keep moving forward while making use of this kind of thing. Hey, Stuart. Yeah, so it's embarrassing, but really I do have, I have these lit keyboards for pretty much all of my systems now. I think there's one or two old ones floating around still, but this is definitely, this is what I've been using lately. I probably should have dusted it a little bit better before I went live, but yes, and this is one of the ones that'll do multiple colors and all that. The color is shifting because when I put my hand here, I'm using a webcam for the overhead shot, so it's adjusting. I forgot to turn that off. But yeah, I love this. It's clicky. It just makes me happy. Clicky keyboards make me happy. I can't help it. That's just how it is. So thank you for swinging by. Good to see you. Okay, so let's do another one. So I don't know. Do you need to see it with the keyboard, or is it better to be able to see the whole thing? Let me know. So for this one, let's just try. I'm going to do the shift and the question mark. And there we go. Shift and question mark worked in Google Photos. And I'm pretty sure that means that the shift plus question mark also works. So this way, you've got your available shortcuts to use while you're inside of Google Photos. If you are in Twitch, let's wait for the commercial to finish. Let's jump over to Reddit. So if you're in Reddit, you can also do this. So do shift plus and question mark, and there you go. You've got, next post, show shortcuts, which we're in. They're actually telling us that you can use the question mark. Previous post, next post. So you can move through and navigate Reddit very easily using just keyboard shortcuts. Let me see if the commercial is done. 1 second. Too many. Oh God, 2 of 4. Okay, well, you just take my word for it. It actually works in, I do need to show you this because I want to show you that most of the time it pops up like I've shown you in these. So you go and you hit either keystrokes, and it usually brings it up in the center as what we in the biz call a modal. So that's a pop-up that has like a see-through background and shows you the information you want to see. All right, we're at the end of the commercials here, and I can show you. I wanted to show you this Twitch one because it doesn't always come up the same way, and you may have to look for it. When I first did this in Twitch, I thought it wasn't working, but it does, and we'll show you why. Okay, so let me I had frozen this one. I don't know why that happened. Okay, let's switch over. No, really, I mean it. There we go. All right, so now we're in Twitch, right, and we're watching, and let's say, we wanted to do something, so we're going to do the shift plus and slash, and what's happening is the pop-up is actually coming up over here, and there's only a few shortcuts in this one, but it's play, pause, which you can use either the space or the K. You adjust the volume, you can mute. I'm assuming that's a toggle. You can probably unmute it. You can toggle full screen. You can exit full screen, and then you can show this menu, which I think is funny. I think it's funny that they're showing you how to show the menu, which you needed to know in order to see the menu. But I'm assuming they're probably pulling this from their online help, so that's probably why that's in there. So yeah, this to me, it saves you having to go and find it, right? Because on all of these things, like, Google has an extensive list of, help pages. And so I'm sure if you dig around, you could find the page that has all of the shortcuts. But my point is, this is a benefit because you don't have to get distracted. You don't have to go someplace else. Wherever you are, while you're doing something, you can go ahead, hit the sequence, and see what's there for you to use without possibly wandering off into an internet rabbit hole. You can just stay focused and keep going. So that's what it is. It is shift, plus sign, and / or shift and question mark. So I hope that you will go out and give those a try and let me know how they're working for you and other places that you find that this works. Or if you find another sequence that does the same type of thing, that would be good to know too. But that's what I have for you. Saving a little time, saving a little focus degradation, and possibly, saving some carpal tunnel problems. I hope everybody is having a good week. We're revving up for the holidays. So as I have mentioned before, if you need to publish content and you're hitting that blank sheet of paper moment and you have no ideas, me too. That's why I did this. I created a document to 130 content ideas. They are not tech specific, and it is free for you. So just go to yourtechcoach.com/content ideas, no spaces, and you can have that too. Basically what I did was I printed it out and I shuffled the pages, closed my eyes, and I put my finger on something, and that's what I write about. And it unleashes all of those frustration points, and now I know what to do. I knock it out and I can go back to what it is I need to do. So feel free to reach out and use it. We are in a period where anybody who's creating content on any level, even if you're only occasionally doing it, it's time to ramp up for the next few weeks. And this will help you go ahead and do the scheduling. If, by the way, you need help with the scheduling, I do have content on that and some recommendations on some tools to use for that. So unless we have any questions, and I think we're good, other than liking my keyboard, which is great. I'm glad I'm not the only one who likes this keyboard. Thank you so much. I hope you give this a try and let me know what you think of it. And we will talk again soon. I am here every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. But I also come back and check the comments. So if you can't catch us live and hang out and chat, feel free to go ahead and jump into the comments and let us know what you think. We'll talk again soon. Bye.